Okay. You should be hot. Did you set up your auto start?
Oh yeah, I set it
Okay.
up, but yeah.
We're good.
Okay.
We're good. Just
So
confirm
where
you're
are
live on.
we?
I'm just starting. I was just going to be chatting until you joined it too. I was just getting the stream going, giving away a battle flag. You were sleeping in your with your migraine. So we hope you feel better there.
Yeah.
Can you confirm your channel's rolling?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Prof with yep, it's going.
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful. Got you.
All right.
Okay, now this is what I will say. Let me just do this while you get yourself facilitated there. We are giving away a battle flag today to say thank you. The moderators in my chat are constantly putting the information there. There is also a pinned link in my chat. It's not in Professor Gerdes', although I could send you the link if you want it. Or guys,
I'm just trying to get through the day here
fine.
after
just
the migraine.
Pop over to my chat for a moment, even if you're watching on Gerdes', and register for the flag. You must be present to win, because we want to make sure the person gets it. We're giving away a Christmas thank you, NAFO drone, eye in the sky, reconnaissance, unbelievable success. Thank you guys. And we want to give one of these away. So mods will be taking care of it. I'll keep referring to it. I'll give like a 5-minute call towards the end. I have a lot of news I'm going to cover. And Prof, we can start with,
start with anything. It just, I'm kind of secondary here.
All right, guys, let's do this. Thank you.
I'll put my hat on.
Thank you.
No, you know what? I have a second hat. My wife got me one.
Hey, okay, like so here's the issue with that, Prof. And it's, we're celebrating Christmas here together. The issue I had with that is that the lucky hat? Because the red one we've had great success with.
This one's the original hat.
We've got to stay with the original. I have not taken off this sweatshirt in 2 days. My wife and kids are screaming at me because of the body odor. I said, I'm not taking it off. I'm going to wear it 2 more days.
This is the virtue of talking to you online.
Exactly. So let's do this. Let's just have some fun. So if you're in Professor Gerdes' chat, just dink over to mine if you would like a chance to win this signed autograph battle flag from the front, right here. Professor Gerdes and I here. Signed by Fish, also his partner there who works with him. And you guys can guess.
Just send me the link. I'll pop it into my chat so that people don't have to do anything.
Okay, let's do this. Great. I'm going to send it to you on WhatsApp. Okay. And you right now start saying good morning, and I'll send you.
So if you wonder why I'm looking like I'm hungover, I'm not. I woke up with a vicious migraine this morning. So this is, I think, the first time in a year and almost 2 years that I haven't done a daily update in the morning, like first thing kind of daily update, because I couldn't actually read, like I couldn't process reading the screen and that sort of thing. So I apologize for that, but there was no way I could I'm barely dragging myself to this right now because I was supposed to be here with Greg at 2, and then he decided he was going to start earlier for some reason I don't yet fully understand. But I want to update, and I haven't actually seen what the update is yet of the fundraiser. I know that I was giddily chuckling to myself yesterday when I saw that at about 25 hours in, you all had crushed more than twice the original goal. And we had talked earlier in the day of like, well, if we're superseding, like we were originally going to go, excuse me, we were originally going to go to like January 1st or something like that, we would get to the goal, and it crushed it twice over in 25 hours. So like, wow, thank you for your generosity.
Gerdes, we have had 687 donations. We've raised $77,057.86, smashing the goal of 30,500. I have been in communication with you. You have been in communication with me yesterday. We've been in communication with NAFO, with Zhenya, with multiple leaders of NAFO, and we made some decisions on what to do because we were pleasantly surprised at the rate that you guys were so generous even on Christmas week. We're thankful. I can tell you, if you want an update right now, Professor Gerdes, I have been on the phone all day with Zhenya. Zhenya has been on the
Mhm.
phone all day with NAFO. I can give
Mhm.
you the latest and greatest. We are, as we agreed upon yesterday, going to let this donation drive go until midnight Eastern Standard Time, your time and my time,
Mhm.
um, Christmas night. So that's
Mhm.
today, tomorrow, and all day Christmas Day. Somebody may wake up and say, you know what, I'm sending a Christmas gift, some eyes in the sky over there. Okay, we're going to run that until December the 25th and close it. At that point,
Right.
with the amount of donations, each drone cost X. So instead of the original 27, it may end up being 60 drones, 70 drones. Basically, we're creating an entire swarm
Yep.
of drones, and we want to say thank you. Now, I have other news for you. I've got great confirmation today. Great confirmation. And I think this is why so often people appreciate how you and I do fundraisers and all the other channels, YouTubers, all of our partners, all of our friends, everybody does an amazing job helping Ukraine. The difference for us is I go there and Zhenya's there 24/7. Like, for example, like Rick does a lot of fundraisers and he knows the soldiers. Johnny Pierce has been to
Mhm.
the front. Mercado's been to the front. But in general, the amount of time spent on the front is, or with soldiers, with units, Zhenya's running it 24/7, and I'm there nonstop as well. This will be my 13th month in January of dropping aid and helping the guys. So I have confirmation today that we will be meeting the exact gentleman who will receive the delivery of this drone swarm.
Awesome.
It's already set up for where it will be. We will have coffee. Of course, I cannot give that location. Jane and I are already in the process of scheduling the exact time and all of how that will all work. And we will go. You will, when I say you, people in our communities, both communities, you will be able to actually hear that person personally say thank you for the unit. We'll talk about it a little bit. No problem. So we will be doing a stream from the recipients of this NAFO campaign. That's confirmed today. So while you were resting, we were confirming that. So it's good news to wake up to.
Awesome.
Did you get that link pinned in your chat?
I didn't pin it because I have to unpin the
Okay.
pin, but I did pop it
Good.
in to my
Okay.
chat so anybody is able to get to it.
Great. If you
And
guys want,
I'll just keep putting it back in place in the
please keep putting
meantime.
it back in place. Once again, the only link in the description here for me right now, and I think for Prof as well, is the pointer to this, NAFO fundraiser. So thank you guys so much, and we appreciate you. I will be giving a flag away. We will not go long on this stream, and Prof, I don't want any undue pressure on you. I had messaged you several times. There were several stories I wanted to talk about that are vitally important today. And I said, well, I'll just go and start talking the news and you pop in it too, and I'll push it and we'll do NAFO at that point.
Talk the news. I haven't heard it yet.
Okay, so let's do it, guys. We're going to get right into it with Prof. Gerdes and look at some things that are very, very important. And this will help Prof as well. So guys, remember, sign up for the battle flag link, the descriptions, the links are pinned in my description, and the link is in Prof. Gerdes's.
I'm just rotating or running it
Thank you.
periodically
Thank
in
you.
mine, just so that I have the pinned fundraiser still pinned. And
Thank you. Additionally, Blonde Bombsheller, if you do not mind, or Dunk, if one of you guys would occasionally hop over to Prof's chat, those will be some names that are trustworthy there, and say, you know, flag, or whatever. Just want to make sure everybody gets the chance to win this. There's no money. This is just our way to say thank you. Okay, let's jump into some news here. Ukraine is continually striking deep into Russia. And this is very, very good news. I have this map here located purposefully because I want you guys to see where and what they're hitting. In the blue, there is Ukraine, yellow, Belarus. The orange is the occupied territory in eastern and southern Ukraine. The red is the regions that are up against the official border of Ukraine. The red circles is what I want you to understand here. Um, Ukraine is striking deep and they're striking shallow. They are striking in Rostov on Don area. They're striking in Kursk. They're striking in Voronezh. They're striking in Bryansk. They're striking in Saratov. They're striking in Samara. And they're striking in Kazan. Kazan is the big one right now because overnight, guys, and this is great news, Ukraine was able to destroy a Shahed manufacturing and storage facility.
Wow, that's big.
It's huge news. And once again, this is where a couple of days ago, the drones were with the electronic warfare went off path as Russia was trying to suppress them, and they flew into the high-rise buildings there. And then, of course, all the propaganda starts. But this is the general direction of where that storage facility was for Shaheeds. Now, we'll talk more about that in a moment, but I wanted us to start by showing some positivity that Ukraine is really striking hard every day. You may not see it on the news. You may not even see it come across a feed, or it comes across in a way you don't understand sometimes because it'll be maybe a city name you don't understand. And a lot of times when you're using Twitter or Blue Sky or other sources, the names will be written differently. For example, the Shahed factory there was written with an old name where the location is, but I know what that city is. It's just to the south of Kazan. It has a different name. So that's how I can locate it for you. And then I had the troops there. Ukraine striking hard into Russian positions there in the Kursk battle in that region. It is difficult, very difficult battles, but Ukraine holding good. So this is very, very good news. Going to the next one, I can confirm to you today, and this is confirmed by Ukrainian intelligence, and we've already talked about this before, but Russia is producing 2,000 Shaheeds a month.
Yeah. So let's talk about Shaheeds. At one point,
Mm-hmm.
they were only able to produce about 16 a day. So anything over 16, I was thinking, okay, they're going to have less over here and they're going to have to supplement or whatever. And then they got way beyond that, and somehow they're able to really produce. So the Shaheeds aren't really all that effective, but you have to deal with them. And so it takes resources and time and effort because they can knock these things down pretty like regularly. That's how I start my daily brief is I talk about like, hey, there's 103 Shaheeds. This was yesterday, 103 Shaheeds yesterday, and they knocked down 40 something directly, and then they electronic warfare knocked down some others. But it's, if they could blow up that factory, that's a great day, because that takes a lot of resources back off the table that they don't have to be spending.
Correct. And just as a reminder, there's two types of Shaheeds flying around Ukraine. You have the original Iranian Shahed, and then you have what's called Gerandva, or you will see it written in English letters Geran2, the Gerandva, the second generation, which is manufactured in Russia. That is what was hit there. Now, I will tell you, of course, there are more production facilities, but anything we can do to take those out. And I'm going to tell you maybe just another side of why these Shaheeds are important. Let's go to this one right here. So I need to get to this one. I've got so many buttons here. Right there. Sorry, Prof. When you're talking about Shaheeds do three things. Okay? Three things. In that Shahed, there's an older picture. Some of them now have jet propulsion. Some of them now are running with Ukrainian cell tower chips in them for further navigation. I mean, like they've been modified like crazy. So we won't talk about the
Yeah. Hey,
modifications.
so
And
we need to recognize something important, that while we talk a lot about Ukrainians actually improvising and adapting and generating greater technology, the Russians
Mhm.
aren't stupid. They do, like, it doesn't seem like quite at the same pace, but there's nothing preventing them from tweaking and making things better and more improved and that sort of thing. And so they do that. They're not just stupid barbarians. Their tactics might be stupid on the battlefield as far as a general willing to spend lots of soldiers, but they do improve, and they have improved things.
let me just say something. Hooves, I see your comment there, and I'm gonna put it in the chat here because I want to make sure audio is right. Please normalize volume. Your quiet prof is loud. Well,
Oh,
he's a
I can
school
move my.
teacher. No, leave
Yeah.
yours where it was. I've already fixed you.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you guys can now put in the chat, better now. Thank you, Mitch. Thank you, everybody. We'll get to some super chats in a moment. You guys are just so good with memberships and all that, and we're so greatly appreciated. So the three things that Shaheeds do, number one, and most importantly, is they map. That's the most important. It's not the
Yeah.
ones that come loaded with the munitions. They do devastating damage when they hit. But the most important thing that the Shaheeds are doing now is 3D mapping
Yep.
Ukrainian positions, mapping pontoon bridges, especially now in the winter when everything is open and you can see. So that's the worst thing they do. The second worst, the terrible English, I guess. And number two, is they bring destruction. And that's terrible. Loss of life,
Mm-hmm.
damage. Number three, and it's not down the list far, but when the rocket and missile attacks come, these are decoys. And they will put 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 80, 100 in the air and then sling a large missile attack. So they want to deplete air defense, and they
Mm-hmm.
want to be like another target in the air, just decoy. So these are the three things that are happening. I do have some more information coming that's not the best, that came directly from Vladimir Zelensky today in the Stavka meeting on December 23rd. So this is
So
where we're
there's
at.
a fourth,
The
and
Shaheeds. Okay, fourth.
there's a fear factor, and I think that Putin thinks that the civilian population will somehow revolt against Zelensky if there's just enough pressure put on them. And I don't think human experience, so you look back to World War II and the Blitz, I don't think that that's what it does. I think it steadies them and makes them even more resilient, or more implacable, as opposed to wanting to just throw off the neo-Nazi regime in his view. I mean, I don't think that that's going to work out the way that Putin's seeing it.
I can tell you from firsthand experience, I've seen plenty of Shaheeds. I've heard them. We've had them fly over our vehicles. I've told that story before. They've flown around our city in Khmelnytsky. My apartment there, where I will be in a week or so, my buddy has been one of my best friends. I have my own room there, my own studio, everything. It's just waiting on me, and it's a big blessing for me. So I want to call his name out right now, Alexander Blajini Biskarovania. Thank you, brother. Just a dear partner and supporter of all that we do. He takes care of a lot of my stuff on the ground there, and just a huge blessing. But he was in our home city of Khmelnytsky there, and he was over on the other side of the city. And I was doing some work on this side, and he called me. He says, Greg, I'm watching a Shahed right now. Professor Gerdes, it's almost become like flying a kite, to be honest with you, on certain days. I'm watching a Shahed right now. And I said, okay, are you afraid? He says, no, it's taking pictures.
No.
No.
Yeah.
And the reason why, they can identify now.
Which one is which?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it'll come in and it starts like this one was actually, God is my witness, circling around the main hospital in Khmelnytsky and just and taking pictures. He says, no, that one's not.
Well, As we're talking about technology, there are Ukrainian drones that are now able to that have just started attacking Shaheds. Drones attacking the Shahed drones. That's pretty cool. So
I was sent video yesterday. Let me go and I am not allowed to share this at all or even talk about the technology, but I can talk in generalities. Ukraine now has technology where they are putting basically drones in the air that have the ability to dogfight these things and shoot them out of the air.
Nobody told me I can't talk about it, and I talk about it all the time. Yeah,
Oh, I got the video. I can show you it working.
Yeah,
it is unbelievable. But
it wasn't Shahed. It wasn't Shaheds that they were originally going after. They were originally going after a different type of drone. And I talked about this last night in my 3 big stories, which was actually 13 and a half big stories last night. I can't seem
That's
to
why the migraine.
shut up, right? Yeah. I don't know what happened with that, but yeah. And so it just, you could see the statistics from like 180, 180, 180, 50. Like, I mean, you could see it just drop like a rock once they had these drones that could go after them. So
let's talk about it a little bit more.
Change everything.
Let's talk about it a little bit more since we won't get in trouble now. These types of drones that Ukraine has developed can go after all types of drones. FPVs, they can go after reconnaissance, they can go after the big like vampire type support drones, they can go after Shaheds. These are some bad boys. And as soon as I get the green light from Zhenya and the team we partner with to help, and they are out east, I'm going to show a video. It's incredible what these things can do. And what's really incredible is not the ability of the drone to actually strike something. That's okay. I get that. You mount a weapon to a drone and it can do its deal. But what's impressive is the drone operator. They are unbelievable how they are handling that. So a lot of stuff
I was going to show this morning, I had queued a video of a ground drone going to recover a fallen Ukrainian drone on a battlefield. That's the first time I saw that. That's pretty cool.
Okay, so you are aware that Ukraine just did, and this is public information, its first offensive action
attack. Yeah.
All drone.
Yeah. I was going to be talking about it today.
Well, we just did. It's north of Kharkiv. It's public information. And they went in and did a battle completely. Ground drones, air drones, all remotely controlled. And I just remind you as well, Prof, this just reminds me of, this is one of the projects we did early on with Pete. And we were the first, group nonprofit there to buy a prototype ground drone that they are now using in these battles to recover soldiers, recover drones, deliver, to battle, to mount guns. We were one of the first ones to purchase one of those through the wonderful people of this community. That sucker cost $5,000. We raised it, and it is still in action on the battlefield. It has dragged off the wounded. It has recovered the dead. The one we purchased has 5 basic functions. It can drop a hook down to drag off people. And it also has a track system on it. It's public information, man. A track system on it where they can load different types of armaments, or they can put on that a drone extender and make it electronic warfare. They also, if they're in a position where they want to evacuate a couple guys, or maybe there's a fallen soldier and a wounded soldier, they can put a basket on it, put the wounded in the basket, and then drag the lost soldier off. It's amazing what is happening. The world's changing like crazy. Now, I will tell you on another piece of news right here, and guys, if you haven't signed up for the flag, make sure you do, so you have a chance to win. No money. This is just us saying thank you. Overall, the power grid was doing decently until this morning. This morning, we've kind of fallen off the cliff, and we're back to struggles in these 6 areas: Kyiv, Sumy, Kharkiv, Poltava, the entire circle of Zaporizhia, Kryvyi Rih, and Dnipro, and then Kherson. These 6 areas are now on pretty significant power outages and rolling blackouts. And when I say significant, I'm talking 8-12 hours of no power. And, you may say, okay, Greg, but they deal with that all the time. I understand it. I sit in the dark quite often, and in January I'll be sitting in the dark again. But here's the problem right now. There are 3 of those circles I don't like. I don't like any of them, to be honest. But there's 3 specifically I don't like. And it would be Sumy, Kharkiv, and over towards Zaporizhia. And you could even throw Kherson into that. These are places where soldiers need power. And they need to be able to charge and fix things. And your echo flows and your power banks and your power generation and your solar eventually runs out. So guys, it's one thing to see rolling blackouts in Western Ukraine, Lviv, Ternopil, Khmelnytsky, Zhytomyr, even Kyiv. It's terrible. But when you start seeing the blackouts where our guys are fighting, it just makes it even a little bit more challenging. So keep your eyes on that.
I want to go back to the last thing you were talking about. Somebody said, "Can the war be won with drones?" I don't think that. I think drones are an amplifier. I think that's like saying, "Can the war be won with an air force?" You always need a boots on the ground, but the air force can amplify and do tremendous things that the soldiers on the ground can't do. So this technology is just it's leveraging the newest technology. It's like tanks in World War II, or, as opposed to at the end of World War I, they rolled out, and then they were dominant in World War II, and then Air Force was dominant in World War II. I think drones are becoming the dominant the dominant technological feature of this war. That's my take on it.
Let's talk about this. You even had Waltz talking about, and we're not going to talk about Israel. We're talking about Ukraine and what we're doing with this project here, and update on the news for a little bit.
Saw that last night.
Waltz came out and said, it was the pager event that turned the tide in that war down there. So no matter your opinion on it, that was technology. That was technology in battle. And I actually did a video on that. I honestly, in my opinion, I just called that a day that warfare changed forever, because, to Prof's point, World War I, trench warfare, some chemical warfare. World War II, tanks and planes. World War I planes, but not like that level. Tanks and planes. Vietnam, jungle warfare. Then you moved into Desert Storm, Desert Shield, the battles and the wars in the Middle East. You moved into the early phases of drone warfare. And then you come now, the blowing up of pagers and whatever else is happening, whether in the Middle East or inside Ukraine. You're talking about incredible technological warfare. I remind you guys, and I promise you right now, my hand on the battle flag. I will go to Kharkiv next month, and I will be right in the middle. And I will film Zhenya and our 3 GPS systems, 2 on and 1 off, so you can see the power of electronic warfare. 1 GPS will put us in the middle of a lake. 1 GPS will put us in Russia. 1 GPS will put us in Romania. I mean, it's like, and we're looking at it going, okay. But this is
good thing you're old enough that
power.
you can read a map.
Well, we've got it memorized now, to be quite honest.
I think my kids would be lost if the power grid went down. They had I still have an Atlas in my car, and I know that most of the people that watch me are older than me, and you know what I'm talking about, right? Like if your phone was off, you would pull out that Atlas and you'd be like, okay, I can still get where I need to go. I still have it. But I think my kids would be like stunned by this. Like,
well, I'm a map geek too.
How do I start?
I'm a map geek too. So for those of you that are here in the US watching, and you are of the demographic Professor Gerdes is talking about, let's just call it 50 and above. Do you guys remember the AAA triptych map?
Oh yeah.
Just flip the page over and you go those 40 miles and you flip the page over. Hey buddy, we were high tech in the 80s. High tech. Anyway, let me do this. Go with the Flow Farm crew member saying, thank you, Greg. Adrian, an engineer on the Hope train. Hi, Greg, and all you amazing people. Adrian was so impressed at how quickly this fundraiser was fulfilled and now going bigger. Adrian, by the way, is a huge supporter of Ukraine. Just kudos to you, Adrian. Thank you. Johnny Nedregard, my Norwegian brother. Hello, community, Slav Ukraini, 22 Norwegian krones, and he has a beautiful picture of Peter in there. Dunk on you, 23. Slav Ukraini, $20 super chat. Thank you for that, Dunk. You do an amazing job helping us. Laser Hobbyist, $5 super chat. Thank you, Laser Hobbyist. God bless you. Dunk on you, 23, gifting 10 memberships. Petra Olson with the Swedish non-smoking initiative. And Prof, you could even speak to something like this. Just the goodness of people. Petra is a person who gave up smoking. And instead of putting that money into a habit of smoking every day, donates that money to Ukrainian efforts on multiple platforms.
That's hardcore when most people are caught by that and they can't get away from it. And so, I mean, that's some crazy willpower to be able to do that and love to do that. So,
you know what, Petra, this is what you're getting.
Amazing.
This is what Petra's getting.
Slava Ukraini.
So thank you. Let me get back to this one. Thank you, Petra. Papa Dutch, we've been missing you, Papa. Slava Ukraina, Gero Slava. I have a lot of things I'm carrying over to Ukraine from Papa Dutch. And have you received your book yet?
No.
In the mail?
No.
Papa Dutch sent you a book. It's en route. So it's coming.
All right.
Yep.
Looking forward.
Hey, Professor Gerdes.
Just
go ahead.
As you're going on, so that people know if they just came in recently, if I look like death warmed over, I had a vicious migraine this morning. So if it's not that Greg's just not telling stories and that's why I look sour, it's because I'm not quite right yet. But and the second thing is I've been popping this link into the chat periodically for the battle flag thing that he's about to give away. And if you have not signed up on that, you need to sign up on that because you could potentially win this. I mean, it doesn't cost you anything. It's just way of saying thank you. So we just want to let people know.
Somebody's going to win. Yep.
Yeah.
And on your channel, Dr. Reagan, PhD from France with $1.99 super chat. Wait for it. And let me tell you, Dr. Reagan, vive la France. She's also a great supporter of my channel as well and a wonderful person. Let me do this real quick.
About to say something.
I just want to finish this. Papa Dutch, a question for Professor Gerdes or a comment to you. Thank you for that follow-up super chat there, Papa. Drones are what are referred to as combat multipliers.
Yeah. Force multiplier. That's right. Absolutely.
Thank you, Papa. Tracy Berry, crew member, Merry Christmas to everyone. iBag, please use the thumbs up. Crew member, Blonde Bombsheller, $10 super chat. Merry Christmas, Greg, from Alex. Alex is also going to be a U.S. soldier. And we're in process for that. So thank you, Alex, and appreciate all of that. All right, let's get back to it, Prof. Here we go. Just a reminder, guys, as Prof said, this is the battle flag. And if you're just jumping in, I see a lot of folks on there watching Prof's channel. He's dropping the link there. And you just need to be in Prof's channel or my channel, and we'll give this away. It doesn't take long. You just have to be present to win. Basically, a 3-foot by 5-foot flag from the front, battle flag signed and autographed by Fish, one of the soldiers that we've supported from day one. He's been a personal friend of mine for 20 years. And his partner in arms there who drew the picture of Taras Shevchenko. Many people over the last year or so have won these flags and love them. It's just beautiful. In fact, Prof's got one hanging behind him.
I want to interrupt you here and give a shout out to Andrew Perpetua, who's in here. I highlight his work almost every day in my daily brief, and he does a phenomenal job. He's got one of the toughest freaking jobs in this whole trying to keep the information flowing, watching these videos and seeing, like, calculating how many, like, that guy. I couldn't do his job. So thank you, Andrew.
Yeah. And Andrew, thank you as well. I use a lot of your information equally, and I utilize Johnny Pierce's maps, which I know you have a lot of influence on there. There's just different places, and we want to say thank you. Guys, if you're here and you don't know who Andrew Perpetua is, go check his channel out on YouTube, Andrew Perpetua, Perpetua, for mapping information. It's unbelievable what he and his team does. So thank you, Andrew. And Andrew, make sure you sign up for a battle flag. You might win this Joker band. So thank you.
Yeah, just pop the link into the chat.
In fact, Andrew, you're going to be interested if you hang around on something that we're getting ready to share here. So we talked about the power grids. Now, and this is it. We have a problem this morning. We have a problem. Siersky came out and wants to develop a new plan and eliminate deep state maps.
Mm.
Guys, you know I never share anything with you unless it's facts. I've confirmed this 10 ways this morning. I couldn't believe it. And it's not that it's going to happen, but this is the talk, and this is a little frustrating point inside Ukraine today. Siersky states the possibility of closing deep state maps and mobilizing this team due to their expertise of the mapping and technology. That's his statement. He then gives his concerns. Siersky's concerns are operational security. You are mapping things many times before we want them mapped. Improper mapping, which is rare, man. I'm telling you, it's rare for improper mapping, and it's fixed. I'm talking about deep state here. I know even, it's interesting, Andrew Perpetua is here right now, the levels that these guys go to confirm. And the mapping pace, okay? Those are his concerns, like getting ahead of the game. You're telling the enemy what we're doing, all of that. Deep state
I understand the
replied,
OPSEC concern. That makes sense. I mean, I'd be nervous about that too.
okay, but I'm gonna, and Andrew will confirm this if he stays in the chat.
Yeah, and Andrew, if you say anything, I'll read it for you.
Yep. Deep state replied, "We are not the USSR." I think it's the brilliant reply. We are not the USSR. The same kind of mentality trying to break out of. This is an open world. There are multiple mapping systems happening, whether it's Russian maps, it's different, like Andrew Perpetua, different maps out there. There's at least 8 to 10 followed closely maps. Why would you not want our Ukrainian voice in that mapping? We are not the USSR. I completely agree with that. Number 2, we began on day 1 to assist our Ukrainian people because Russia was moving so fast. We wanted them to know where they're at so we could save their lives. The same things happen today. 3, we work at the highest level of security and technology. Number 4, we are utilized globally. This is their statement as the number 1 source for map information. And number 5, we live in a public world. Now, I'm going to add one more thing to this. And if you see Andrew make a comment or you have a comment, I'm going to tell you guys something that's not there, but this is the truth right now. And this is a big story inside Ukraine today, a big story. Soldiers on the front lines use deep state map. Period. Period. They look, they trust it. They get the information from their commanders. Their commander says, okay, you're not going on road A5 today. It's under shelling. They don't go.
All right. Andrew's comment here was that Deep State does delay their updates by 3 days, often longer, sometimes much longer. So it's probably less of a concern than what it sounds like. I think he wants control.
That's the issue right there. That's where I want to get to. Andrew, thank you for that. Deep State does a wonderful job, as you do. For some reason, Siersky's just talking right now. He wants that gone. And of course, there's going to be a reason. But I can tell you, Ukrainian soldiers use Deep State. Why would you take that away from them? Why would you take the information?
Well, I understand where he's coming from, but I'm not sure this is the greatest solution. But there's got to be a way of having a little more potential control to keep something dark for a short period of time, so that and if it's delayed for a couple of days, that's probably already doing some of that. So.
Andrew Perpetua, comment on my channel from Nigel Leyland. Your work is awesome. Thank you.
No doubt.
No doubt. Well, let's
I'm trying to think of what it was the other day that I was highlighting a comment that he put out there. Something I don't remember what it was, but I read something that he had put out on Twitter, and I said, well, just for the record, if I say one thing and he says the other, he's probably right and I'm not. So so I want you to understand that that's the level of quality that he puts out that I okay, anyway, go ahead.
He does, and people appreciate it as we do. So let's give this
Yep.
to Andrew.
Don't give up, keep on fighting.
That's it. Don't give up, keep on fighting. That's what we're doing. So thank you so much. Let's go back to a couple of things. Now, do I think personally there will be a end result to this where deep state maps go away? No, I do not. I would be shocked at that. But I just know that as we discussed yesterday, Professor Gerdes, in our conversation in regard to our project was doing so well and still doing so well that we're going to run through Christmas. Ukraine is just going through birthing pains, breaking away from the Soviet Union and the mindsets and the mentalities. And
you'll see that in many regards. So I mean, it's not just here.
Correct. So for me, to be honest with you, even as like, okay, why would he say that? Why would he do that? I can understand that. For me, this is a net positive. Ukraine going forward, Ukraine growing, Ukraine moving to the West, breaking away from those Soviet ideas and mindsets. Papa Dutch.
Hey, hold on. He says, I have a few points to make, but I don't want to derail us. Derail all you want, Andrew.
Derail all you want. We're just giving away a
say.
flag and chatting. Well, let me say this one while you catch that one. Papa Dutch, I have a $5 super chat. I have a suggestion for Deep State. Split the effort. Have one side public and have a dark operation working with Siersky.
Or have one of Siersky's men with Deep State to just keep certain places dark as necessary. I mean, there's a way that they could probably split the difference. This was an issue that didn't need to be an issue, to my mind.
Correct, but it was. Because it's birthing pains. And this is the cultural side I want to keep bringing before people. My lane, understanding this culture. They're birthing to a new world. New freedoms, new understanding, and it crosses every system. For anybody that here has been inside Ukraine, you can confirm what I'm getting ready to tell you. When you go to the grocery store in Ukraine, due to the Soviet system still being broken out, the security guard stands at the end of the register like this, and he watches what you buy and put in your bag. Like this. And I always have fun with them. I'll turn. I said, did I steal anything? Nope. Good job. But that's the culture that's being washed out. And there are so many positive changes in gas stations and grocery stores and banking. And this is just a part of it, guys. This is good news. I know Cyrilia gifting 5 memberships. Thank you for that. Also, welcome to new crew member, but I don't see the name there. Well, member new, welcome. Where's the name? It didn't pop in. And $9.99 super chat. Tito Valenzuela, a big supporter of Ukraine and our works from Honduras, Professor Gerdes, ask, Greg, what's our next project? Prof, let's just take a break for a moment and we'll come back to the news. Can you speak again to the success so far of our NAFO project? And how we will look at another project?
Yeah, so we were trying to figure out yesterday before I was involuntarily laughing when I woke up yesterday morning because I was like, okay, so we went from 7,000 after like we had our first video about it, introducing it, and then when I went to sleep that night I was like, can you believe this? And texting Greg, and then I woke up in the morning and involuntarily laughed when I saw what the amount was, because we didn't know what the response would be here. And then I went to church and then came back from church and I was like, what just happened? We just beat the number. So what do we do? Like, do we have another unit out there? And so Greg and I put our heads together and we're like, okay, this unit still needs more. So let's just
Yes.
focus on this continual unit and just push it through Christmas Day. Like, let's just keep going through Christmas Day and see how we can maximize it. And so that's what happened. And as of 25 hours and change, we were at double the number of what we had set out for. And that's not because of any of our genius. That's because of you guys being willing to like just give. And that's awesome. So thank you so much. And to the degree that we keep pushing it, more eyes will be in the sky, more guardian angels. So thank you for that.
We are at 77,927 with 701 donations. 16 new donations have happened since we've been streaming. Thank you guys. We're almost at 78,000. You know, we're basically getting close to tripling the amount of drones. Tripling.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And guys, they will go to the 54th, and the 54th is in desperate need of them, where they are battling and fighting. I can't tell you specifically, but confirmed again this morning, Jane and I will be going and meeting with the recipient of these, and you will meet them. We'll do a little stream or a video and thank you, and you can see your love in action. At that point, what has worked well for Professor Gerdes and myself is this. Prof's really smart, even if he has a migraine and has a goofy hat. I stink because I'm wearing the same sweatshirt for 3 days because right now the mojo's going on it, okay, for us helping Ukraine. But one of the advantages that we try to utilize is our relationships on the front. So Zhenya nonstop on the front, we are always seeking out the most important need, the most important. And as soon as I arrive in Ukraine, Zhenya is already working with a couple of units. I will throw one out there, a new one, the 28th. And we also have some work that we promised for the 78th. And these are going to be larger projects. So these will be personal connections. We'll get there, meet them, see the project, partner up with Prof, and away we go on another project. Because we just have a little different viewpoint because of our nonprofit status there inside Ukraine, our NGO there. We only deliver hand to hand. It's like in our bylaws, we only deliver hand to hand. We work only directly with the military or government officials like regional administrators or governors or you name it. That's how we function. And it keeps us transparent, 100% legal. And our reputation across the front on all these units is 100% gold. And that means your reputation is 100% gold because we deliver what we say we're going to deliver and we put it in your hands personally. So,
but the question was, how do we decide what the next project is?
By the desperate need. That's how we decide. Oh, ask. There you go. Exactly right. I get homework from this guy.
Yeah, I do assign him a lot of homework. I'm quite a headache.
I got to send this. Mark Thompson, such a great supporter. Greg, you're going to have to make multiple trips to the 54th. You don't have enough room in your truck. Mark, we got multiple trucks and vans, and we will roll a convoy to a certain safe location if we need to. So thank you for that. But hey, Mark, isn't that a good problem? We need more space in the trucks to deliver stuff. That's great. All right, let's go back to a little bit of news. Right now, I can update you guys that we have 166 people who have signed up for a chance to win this flag. We're getting close to the time where we will raffle it off. And a couple more news points. We'll speak about the fundraiser one more time and raffle the flag. I just want to make sure you have a chance to win it. Between Prof's channel and my channel right now, we have over 1,000 people watching and 166 signed up. Listen, your email's not going to be given away. I delete it. It's only your YouTube handle or a public name to spin on the wheel. And as soon as you respond in the chat, I'm here. As soon as I hit end stream, I send you an email. You email me back your mailing address anywhere in the world. And that's it. You're going to get no spam or anything. You can trust us on that. Just want to let you guys know we care. That's it. And Ukraine cares, to be honest. So what can I tell you? And that was actually in reference to the Searsky in the deep state. Here, I'm just the bottom left there. I'm with the 141 there. Bottom right, I'm with WASP. I can tell you now where we were working because it's already gone and locations have changed. I'm going to make that decision, and then Zhenya or Ukraine will call and yell at me. But the picture with WASP right there was down toward Karakivka. And you know Karakivka's red now. Gone. Upper right, that's the 78th Airborne. We're helping those guys. And why is that picture there? And what can I tell you? That every soldier there in his phone, when he looks at the war and he pulls it out on his phone, he's using DeepState. That's it. They're looking. So just to finish out this story, and guys, for all of you out there on Prof's channel or my channel, these are the people we're helping. Right to them and only hand to hand. Now, I have to show this because this guy is, and this will be good for you, Prof. I want you to just give your response. Okay? Do you know who this is?
Sure.
This is Alexei Arestovych. 3 years ago, when the war began, he was the #1 podcaster inside Ukraine for giving, warring, and mapping information. He was utilizing deep state and other sources. He would come on a podcast every night, and he would talk about Ukraine going to win the war, where we were moving, how the positions were going. Ukrainian patriot, Ukrainian hero. Every day he was there. Faithful interviews, became so famous inside Ukraine and internationally. Alexei Arestovych, he also worked as an advisor for the office of the president. I need to do this. Bagheera, can they freely use their phones? That's a good question. Let me answer it. Is that a security problem? So, at certain ranges off the front, we use phones and they use phones. But when we come into a certain range that is X kilometers, which I won't say, phone goes to airplane mode. And from that way forward, everybody's basically on Starlink or other types of connection devices. So, yes, once you get within X kilometers, and we hit those X kilometers, and Jane and I and the soldiers are riding with us, I go, okay, airplane mode. And they never say mode, they say mood. Airplane mood, airplane mood. And so that's what happens there. So hope that helps answer your question. So Alexei Arestovych, for the first year, so trusted, so everything, the voice of Zelensky, the voice of the maps, video going around Ukraine right now. Just check this out. This is why you always have to validate your source and make sure you trust. And comes back to our fundraiser, to be honest with you. And this is why I'm showing this. A, to show you how people can change. B, to show you how important it is to make sure you're running with people of the same mindset, that you build trust with them and you can run with them. And the way you guys are responding in this fundraiser for the 54th, we thank you for that trust and appreciation. But you can see here Alexei Arestovych standing in front of the podium where even Zelensky speaks from the office of the president early in the war. This is what he was talking about here.
I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Who do you trust more about their actions? Zelensky or Putin? So you trust Putin more. Why is that? Because the enemy is the best teacher. Putin is my opponent. It's a fair fight. Internal politics is always messy.
I'm going to play it one more time because my volume went up at first to the level I wanted it.
I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Who do you trust more about their actions? Zelensky or Putin? So you trust Putin more. Why is that? Because the enemy is the best teacher. Putin is my opponent. It's a fair fight. Internal politics is always messy.
I mean, just absolute traitor. We called him a traitor a year ago, but it just continues. How on earth, Prof? I'm just going to ask you a simple question. Can you go from one of the most trusted voices early in the war?
He-
They were even thinking about him for president. I'm telling you, political aspirations, the voice of the office of president, and now he trusts Putin more than Zelensky because I
So
want
he was the guy behind a Time magazine article that gave Zelensky a black eye, wasn't he?
absolutely.
The,
He
the
is a
inner
traitor,
circle
dude.
guy. Yeah. So I mean, now I would say that there's some wisdom to what he said if you look at it in a specific way. So I try to watch a lot of Russian propaganda because I'm trying to understand what they're saying and why they're trying to say what they're saying. I don't trust what they're saying, but I trust that what they're saying is something that they're trying to communicate to push their point. So if he's saying that, which I don't think he is, but if that's what he's saying, then that's different, right? Like in the same way that I would listen to a mill blogger who really wants Russia to win. They're
Mhm.
actually often a lot more accurate than anything that the state media actually pushes out. So it's that sort of thing. By the way, Andrew Perpetua just posted this that Marcus is speaking live right now and spitting fire. I don't understand Ukrainian well enough to understand, though. I'm not sure what we're talking about with that, but I just thought I'd bring that out because he just had posted that. I
Andrew,
don't
come
speak
over to my
Ukrainian at
stream
all.
a second. I need the link. I assume you're talking about Deep State. I
Yeah.
assume
At
that.
any rate, um, so that's also what's going on. But I mean, as far as listening to your adversary, sure, and the internal politics, so if you know who's part of the servant of the people faction, who's a part of a different faction, then you can factor that into what's being said too, because politics are still politics, even if there's no elections in the foreseeable near future. They still don't necessarily like each other. I mean, if we were in a system right now where we had no elections, I'd still be tethered to my party, and somebody would be tethered to their other party, and we'd still see things from different cross purposes. I mean, that's normal, but I don't know that that's what he's trying to communicate.
Well,
He just kind of went off the rails.
well,
No, Marcus, the
he
guy
can.
from the 40. He said no, Marcus, the guy from the 47th. That help you?
Okay. I need that link. I will tell you. So I come at from just a little bit different perspective, and I agree with you, but I am convinced he's nothing but a propaganda puppet, even from when he was in the
He
president's
might be.
office.
I mean, he seems
Okay,
like he's made that decision a long time ago with that Time magazine hit piece
correct.
2 years ago. That really hurt Zelensky politically. I mean, that was pretty devastating.
It was pretty devastating, and for me, there are just these people. And it's almost like they sit in the shadows that have been groomed for decades for times like these. And Putin and others from the Kremlin and even their propagandists will even talk about it. Well, we've got this guy in this region. We've got this guy in this region. We've got this guy in this region. And the reality is they do. They've got guys in Washington, D.C., okay, that are full of these narratives. And throughout the United States, throughout Europe, throughout the world, it's just sad. I can tell you now, Ukrainians can't stand the guy, number one.
Yeah.
But number two, it's just sad that you have that kind of access, beginning of the war office of the president, and so trusted, man, in general, for the first 12 months of the war, and then to go off the rails this much. It's
So
just it's
El
bad.
Kudo says that he's starving for attention after losing his position as spokesperson after a scandal around him calling for an explosion of friendly fire during one of his live streams. Okay. I mean, maybe he's just trying to get back in the game. Maybe he's trying to make himself relevant like Lukashenko is trying to make himself relevant by inserting himself into things, or maybe he wants to be a
see.
Kardashian.
And I
We
just
don't
brought
know.
up. I threw the video in there because I just want people to always make sure you trust your sources, even where you're following on Twitter, following on news sources, media, YouTubers, wherever. And we thank you for trusting us. Thank you for trusting Professor Gerdes. Thank you for trusting myself. and build that trust over time, because there's a lot of mess out there, especially in this war.
And
All right,
verify. I mean, if we say something, verify it. Like, don't just go, oh, well, he's a trusted source. Check it. I mean, if I said something, it's in the news. You can see it. Like,
Well,
go
we
look
do
at the
have breaking
citation.
news. We have breaking news.
Go ahead.
In our stream right now, Gerdes, Professor, we went to a new level. Vladimir Putin is watching.
Oh, great.
The real one. He leaves us a message. I am predictable.
Yeah.
That'll make your headache feel better. Okay, guys, here you go. This is the 5-minute call. 5-minute call. Make sure you sign up for the battle flag. We're going to get Professor back to some rest. We're at 187 of you that have now registered. Love to see at least 200 of you get in there and have a chance to win this flag. It's a really cool.
600 viewers. None of you want a battle flag?
I'm telling
crazy.
you. I'm telling you.
I just put the link in.
350 on mine, 950 watching. Come on, guys. Here you go. I promise you, I won't give your information away. I promise. But you get a chance to win this. And I know there are people in the chats that have won the flags, and it's one of their most treasured possessions. So, all right, let's go to the last story. And this was today, Professor Gerdes. It is the Stavka meeting, Zelensky meeting there. And the key talking point actually was not only the battle in a couple of areas. And I promised I would do this. Let me come back to that. Let me come back to that. Did we lose Professor Gerdes? Let's see here. I think we lost him. Well, he'll be back in a moment. While I'm waiting for him to come back, and you guys are getting your last sign up in for the flag there, there's a couple of places that I wanted to discuss in regard to the front lines here. Julio Tamu, you are starting to read the tea leaves there, sir. We'll see Prof pop back in, or he'll call me here. I'm going to use DeepState map for this. Going to use DeepState. This is the city of Kherson, and there is confirmation now, and we've already been talking about this. Russia is building up on this southern side here. They want to, this is no joke, guys. They really want to try to come into Kherson again, and they're building up on the Antonivka Bridge. They have tried multiple times to establish a bridgehead on the Ukrainian side of the river, but that has been failure every time. But I can tell you that Kherson itself, the city, is under nonstop drone and shelling MLRS systems, and it is public. Ukraine is talking about it. Russia is talking about it. They are wanting to make another effort for Kherson. And one of the things that they are looking for their advantage is a very cold snap to freeze up this area all down here. I'll go to a different color. This area all down here is very, very swampy. And of course, when it's frozen up, it makes access easier. So we will see. Leslie Bowe, I agree with you. In general content, or in general status, they will never get across that river. I agree, but they're pushing some serious equipment down there on both sides. And it's tough down there. So Kherson, I want to go to Karakova, and I want to show you guys something very important. Karakova, we come up the river and we come over to Karakova. Has Karakova completely fallen? The answer is no, it has not. In fact, I want to go to satellite, and I want to show you what is left. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the thermal plant. Unfortunately, yes, the thermal power plant. Right here at Stary Tirnu, which is now occupied, is where the dam was blown. Right there. I'm just doing 3 or 4 places on the map, Prof. Stary Tirnu is where the map was blown. Karakova is not completely fallen or occupied. Yes, Russia did hang a flag in this area right here. And yes, they have operational push here, but 100% Ukraine is holding on to the thermal plant. You know, it reminds me of the days early in the war of Azovstal when Ukraine was holding that. In regard to Pokrovsk and Mirnograd, two key places we need to look at, and that is this. This is the highway paved, as we've talked about, that comes out of Pokrovsk, down through Shevchenko, and pushes over through Novotroysk, and goes straight down to Andriivka and Constantinople. That road is now under the complete control of Russia. I can tell you right now, that is the exact road that Zhenya and I have driven so many times to deliver aid. That was our paved highway because Russia was back over here. And we put our sugar cubes on and drone jammer and run wide open. And it was the easiest access, because if not, you have to go way back here. Then you've got to work down through dirt roads. So imagine Ukraine will have to do the same. Mud, ice, snow. We're still only in December. Shevchenko, for the most part, pretty much under the control of Russia. They want to come in from this south side, but what they actually want to do, it's not so much about Pokrovsk, guys. And this is coming from Ukraine and even Russian sources. I read Russian sources. This is coming actually from both sides. It's this highway right here. Let me make that bigger. It's this highway right here coming into Pokrovsk. That area, that's what everybody needs to hold and wants to hold. So you would think Russia's going to go ahead and just push on into Pokrovsk. No, not going to be easy. Going to be very difficult. They have leaning pressure there. Ukraine has done some counteroffensives, minor, but they want to get behind here. And additionally, not so much Mirnograd, but they want to push right here up to Novoekonomichny, right there. This is the other side of the road. And this road goes to Konstantinivka and Chasiv Yar and Toretsk. So then what is left in the middle? Pokrovsk and Mirnograd. So this is what we're looking at. They're trying to actually not actually go the cities, but actually trying to come around. Ukraine is completely aware of that. And then the last thing I will tell you, Toretsk still under serious battles. If you're wondering where Toretsk is over here, just south of Konstantinivka and south of Chasiv Yar, right here. If I zoom in, you can see Russia having control, 50% of Toretsk, leaning control a little bit more. The only thing I try to draw folks' attention to in Toretsk is the area that they're controlling right through here is actually where all the tall buildings are. The 5-story, the 9-story, the 14-story. When you zoom in out here, this is more like suburbia, residential roads and just houses. And you can zoom in and look at them. Village homes is what it looks like. So they do have altitude and elevation here with the tall buildings. So Toretsk is a challenge, but I can tell you guys right now, Toretsk doesn't look like a city. Toretsk is leveled. Toretsk is leveled. It's in horrible condition. And we'll stop right there for the news updates. I wanted to give you guys some looks there on the front. Going now to the last piece. This is the last call for you to sign up for the battle flag. And welcome back, Professor. Zelensky at the Stavka meeting today put out public information. North Koreans have lost over 3,000 killed and wounded in Kursk.
A lot.
That's directly from Zelensky at the Stavka meeting. But
was 1,100 just 2 days ago.
Correct. We're now at 3,000. But the President of Ukraine noted that there are risks of sending additional soldiers and military equipment to the Russian army from the DPRK. The high number out there, even from my friends in South Korea, and you hear it, is 100,000. Will that ever happen? I don't know. But will there be another 10,000? I think you can put that in the bank. Additionally, I do have a picture of a drone there. That is not a mistake. North Korea also Zelensky talking about already loading up additional APCs, equipment, MLRS, missiles, and now Kim Jong-un talking to Vladimir Putin, Zelensky talking about this, about batches of suicide drones. So here we go, where we started, and the fundraiser, we're talking about, we're back to the drone story for ending. So that's where we're at on that. That would not be good to have more drones coming, those types.
Nope.
Well, guys, this is where we're at.
All right.
We want to say thank you and get Professor Gerdes getting some rest here. Thank you. Thank you all for what you do. Thank you for subscribing, liking, moderators, supporting, giving, commenting, all of that stuff for both of us. If you're on my channel, you haven't subscribed to Professor Gerdes, please do so. The man is a friend of Ukraine and a friend of trying to disseminate truth. So please subscribe to Professor Gerdes.
Let's get to the flags.
I'm trying. Now I will do the flag. 214 people. Awesome. All right. I want to say good luck to everybody. I will now. I'm cutting and pasting your names. I mean, a crew in here. This is awesome. I want to make sure I get everybody. All right. I now have the names copied. I will come here, and now I will share this for all to see. All right, guys, this is the random name picker. I put the list of names. This is not emails. This is your YouTube name, so nothing here to cut and paste. It's just names that you put in publicly. This will be what's spinning on the wheel. We go down now. We're going to do one winner. We're going to show Wheel of Names, max winner. And I'm sorry, Professor Gerdes, I do know that you have a migraine, but you have to do Zhenia's job here. I'm sorry. I'm going to start calling colors. You tell me when to stop. Love, Sun-Kissed Nature, Coral Reef Dreams, Marine Breeze.
I don't care. Just
Coral Reef Dreams. That's what it is. Guys, there is the wheel, and it's time to spin. Good luck to everybody. You have to be here. As soon as we call the name, Professor, please be watching your chat. Mods will be watching. Yeah. I'll be watching. Here we go, guys. Good luck to everybody. Somebody's getting ready to win a flag. And the winner is Wayne. Wayne, you are the winner. Now, I don't know if you're in my chat or Professor Gerdes' chat. So we set the clock, 2 minutes.
Wayne who?
It's just...
Does it say Wayne?
Yeah, that's his username, Wayne.
Let's see if Wayne, if you're here, pop up. Tell us you're here.
Wayne, Wayne, Wayne.
That'd be rough to win and then not win it because you're not here.
I have...
I don't see a Wayne in mine here.
Okay, just hang on. Sometimes it takes them a second. I give them 2 minutes. We're already 40 seconds in. Rats, not me, Steve for B says. Wayne, Wayne, Wayne. This must... While we're waiting, I got a clock here, Professor Gerdes, another minute. Just thank you, everybody, for helping us with this. Helping Ukraine, helping us help Ukraine. Helping us help Ukraine. My mod is saying, Wayne, if you're here, send a message. All right, we got about 40 seconds and we're going to spin again. No problem. Great, 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 great. We are at 78,000.
And somebody say, can I change my name to Wayne?
Wayne's World, Wayne's World. While we're waiting, it's about 20 more seconds because I'm watching my clock over here. We're at 709 donations, $78,634. The goal was 30,500. Awesome. Thank you, guys. This is going until Christmas. Going until Christmas. Okay, 10 more seconds, and I'm going to have to call no Wayne.
Doesn't look like he's here.
All right, we're going to go 10, 9, 8, 7. I just try to be fair. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I am sorry, Wayne. All right, guys, going back to the wheel, the random names, and we're going to change the color. I'm going to love this time. And here we go. I will put it on the... You know, it would be funny if Wayne wins again. But here we go. Congratulations, somebody. Good luck, everybody. Come on, come on, come on. Boom. Annie Uki Chick.
That's quite specific. Annie, you're here.
Yuki Chick.
I don't see her over on mine yet.
I recognize the name. This needs to be here. Annie. Boom! She's here. Annie Yuki Chick Wilkie. Yay, 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 yay. So there we go, guys. Here it is. Send. Annie Yuki Chick right there. Congratulations to you. And Prof, thanks for joining on this Flag Day and this News Day. I know you're not feeling the best. Appreciate you so much. Annie, I will be emailing you immediately upon the conclusion of the stream, asking for your shipping address and get the flag into the mail to you before I leave for Ukraine. Thank you, guys. I'm sure schedules will be a little different for me over the next couple of days, as I recommend for all of you. Spend some time with family and friends over this Christmas holiday season. Videos will be different times, I'm sure. And Prof under the weather some. I won't speak for him. But thank you, Professor Gerdes. I appreciate your friendship.
Glad to be here.
Appreciate all that you do. And we're going 2 more days till December.
Yeah, we'll have another update somewhere, I guess tomorrow or something, because I don't know that we were going to do an update on Christmas itself.
No.
We'll figure out something. Whether video or live or something.
Yeah. And then
maybe
for sure, guys.
It may just be video of where we are or something like that.
Yes, we'll do something like it's Christmas Eve. But for sure, the day after Christmas, we'll have a video or something with the final totals with Professor Gerdes and myself saying thank you. So, guys, thank you for all that you do. Be blessed. Have a great Christmas. And God bless you. I hope you feel better, Prof.
All right. Have a good one.
All right, guys. Bye-bye.
Slava Ukraini!